Did you ever notice that there's an awful lot of Transformers that seem to have like human facial hair? If you're tuning into this video hoping for an explanation as to why that would be, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there isn't going to be a logical explanation because I've never gotten one myself. The best we've ever got is that some Transformers have features that just so happen to resemble facial hair, but even that's not really a satisfactory explanation. Anyway, that's enough boring logical stuff. As someone with cultivated facial hair myself, I thought it only fitting to cast a more critical eye to some of the more facially histoute Transformers, and grade them on a scale from S to D, with S being the best and D being the worst. Starting off strong, I see. That beard and mustache facial hair really tells you all you need to know about Alpha Trion, Optimus's prime mentor and friend. He's trustworthy, he's dependable, he's wise, he's old. He really stands out for being one of the few Transformers with explicitly graying facial hair. He's got a hell of a look, and for that reason alone, I'm putting him in the highest tier possible. Whoa, for a guy called Minimus, he certainly packs a big impression with that vaudeville goatee and mustache combo. Out of all the bots on this list, he looks by far the best groomed. He's a dapper chapper and gets top marks in my book. Ugh. Well, they can't all be winners. That pointy little douchey Anton LaVey goatee is a poor fit for Cheetor, who's basically the Bumblebee of the Beast Wars cast. It looks slightly better on the toy, but even then, not by much. I'm not really a huge fan of this look for Cheetor in general. I was even less of a fan of the weird robot puberty subplot they gave him at the end of the third season of Beast Wars. I can't put it in the absolute lowest tier because I recognize I'm heavily biased against this look, but I can't pretend I don't hate it either. Yikes, not a good showing for the Beast era. You're breaking my heart here, guys. Honestly, this twisted visage doesn't even read so much as a robot face as it does some kind of Fred Durst genetic experiment gone horribly wrong. This is what the toy looks like, by the way. No further comment. Now we're talking. Good start for the Unicorn Trilogy, guys. The beard looks a little bit more unkempt and sharp than I'd prefer. Like it actually looks physically dangerous. You could put your eye out on that thing. Gotta send some love to the live-action movies before I absolutely just dump all over them later on in this list. He basically has the same exact look as Alpha Trion, although looking a little bit more untrustworthy and severe than he did. Actually, now that I look at them so close to each other, they look pretty much identical in general. Why wasn't he just called Alpha Trion in the movie? Seriously, which one of these two do you think he looks like? Despite being a bit less rich and luxurious than Alpha Trion, I still can't hate on this guy's look too much, and his rating should reflect that. Oh, now we're talking. Whoever decided that an evil version of Rodimus Prime could use like a Lemmy from Motorhead look, you were absolutely right and a visionary. By the way, Shattered Glass is just a comic book thing that's basically just a evil alternate universe version of the Transformers. This is one of the best designs from that whole series, and it's getting in the top tier.
Oh! I'm okay.
Oh no! I can barely even stand to look at this one. Some of these bots might look like their facial hair is a bit unkempt and unruly, but this looks like actually disgusting. Like it's covered in grease and grime. You know what? He's getting a tier all for himself. Even the other worst the franchise has to offer doesn't deserve to be lumped in with this horrible, disgusting excuse of a beard. Had to bring some class back to the list. I'm not sure if this look is Cybertron Elite Guard standard, but I think even a stick in the mud like Ultra Magnus would give it a pass if it looked this slick. Typically, Transformers' facial hair comes in one of two varieties. Either they just straight up have a beard or mustache, or their face is kind of designed in a way to imply the presence of a mustache or beard. Movie Ratchet is a pretty good example of the latter. Well, a decent example anyway. If I hadn't pointed it out that he was even supposed to have a mustache, would you even notice? It makes sense that the devil of the Transformers universe would be outfitted with an equally diabolical mustache and goatee combo. This is such an important element of Unicron's overall look that most interpretations of him has featured this element in some fashion or another. It's not quite enough to get him into the top tier, but he definitely cuts the mustard. What an absolute badass! Animated Megatron just looks awesome in general, and this goatee sideburn combo gives him less of a Godsmack look and more of like a warlord despot. I can honestly say I never thought I would like the idea of Megatron with a goatee, but it just frames his face so perfectly. I gotta give it respect. Another absolutely hideous beard from the movies. Seriously, that is just unkempt and unpleasant in every way. I really like Jetfire's overall design, but as is pretty commonplace for the movie designs, they went way too far in the face area. Can you imagine an old man in real life with facial hair like that? Seriously, you would cross the street to avoid him. Man, the Unicorn Trilogy is coming in clutch. This is a really good example of the kind of facial hair I was talking about earlier. To me, this variety of metal stash is a lot more plausible than the other kind. He certainly looks put together. He's something of an Alpha Trion mentor type, and I always get those vibes when I look at him. Oh, hell yeah! Not really much to say about this one. I think it speaks for itself, really. I never thought I'd like facial hair on a Wheeljack, but this just suits his character so well. He has more of a jovial garage mechanic vibe. I do miss his mouth plate, though. When I first conceptualized of making this video, this was the guy I was thinking of. Seriously, he has everything you want in an evil bearer of facial hair. He's like the opposite of Alpha Trion. One glance at this guy and you know right away he is evil. How fitting to end a video about Transformers facial hair with the absolute pinnacle of the art form. He's even got a whole army of clones that copy his look. It's that good. His nails are on fleek too.